What if I told you that Kobe Bryant, the well-known basketballer, had some dark secrets no one knows about? Dark secrets that we will be revealing in today's video. But it's not just secrets we're talking about. There are moments of heartbreak, triumph, and unexpected twists in the life of a man who seemed larger than life. This is Scene. The late Kobe Bryant may have been a basketball legend, but what most people don't know is that his life off the court was just as intriguing as his time on it. Let's start with his name. Kobe Bean Bryant. You might be wondering, what kind of name is that? Well, it turns out his parents named him after a type of beef they saw on a menu. Yes, Kobe beef, straight from Japan. And Bean, that came from his father, Joe Bryant's nickname. But Kobe wasn't just some kid with a fancy name. He was practically born to play basketball. His father played professionally for 16 years, including time in the NBA, and his uncle Chubby Cox also had a short stint with the Washington Bullets. With basketball literally in his blood, it was no surprise that Kobe was destined for greatness. But what most people forget is that his journey started far from American basketball court. When Kobe was just 6 years old, his family moved to Italy after his dad signed with an Italian basketball team. While other kids back home were watching cartoons and eating cereal on Saturday mornings, Kobe was exploring the ancient streets of Rieti, Italy. He didn't just survive there, he thrived. He learned fluent Italian and soaked up every experience. But basketball was always calling him back to his roots. Every summer, his family returned to the U.S. so Kobe could play in developmental leagues, sharpening the skills that would one day make him an icon. When the family eventually returned to Philadelphia, Kobe hit the high school courts like a storm. His freshman year was rough. His team finished with just 4 wins. But Kobe wasn't one to back down from a challenge. Over the next 3 years, he led his team to a staggering 77 wins and a state championship. He even scrimmaged with the Philadelphia 76ers while still in high school. Imagine being a teenager going toe-to-toe with NBA pros and realizing, yeah, I belong here. Confidence led him to skip college entirely and enter the 1996 NBA draft straight out of high school. And guess what? He was picked 13th overall by the Charlotte Hornets, only to be immediately traded to the Lakers, a move orchestrated by Lakers GM Jerry West, who knew Kobe was destined for greatness. But basketball wasn't Kobe's only passion. Believe it or not, he once tried his hand at a music career. Back in high school, he was part of a rap group called Cheezaw, which landed a record deal with Sony. The label saw Kobe as the real star and pushed him to go solo. In 2000, he released a single called Ty.O. B, featuring Tyra Banks. Let's just say it didn't exactly climb the charts. The song flopped so hard that Sony scrapped the entire album and dropped him from the label. In Kobe's world, it was a rare airball. But if there was one silver lining, it was that the music video shoot introduced him to a young woman named Vanessa Lane, the woman who would become his wife. Now, you'd think that finding love would be a cause for celebration, but not for Kobe's parents. They were strongly against the relationship and refused to attend his wedding. Things got even worse when his mother tried to sell some of Kobe's memorabilia without his permission, leading to a legal battle that forced his parents to issue a public apology. It's hard to imagine that kind of tension in a family, but Kobe faced it head on, just like he did with every challenge in his life. Of course, not all of Kobe's personal moments were uplifting. One of the darkest chapters of his life came in 2003 when he was accused of sexual assault by a 19-year-old hotel worker in Colorado. The case was highly publicized, with Kobe admitting to an extramarital affair, but insisting the encounter was consensual. The allegations tarnished his reputation, and though the criminal case was eventually dropped, the damage lingered. It was a stark reminder that even heroes have complicated stories. Despite the drama, Kobe's competitive spirit never wavered. He was a key part of Team USA's redemption story, winning Olympic gold medals in 2008 and 2012 after a rocky start with the national team. But what really set him apart was his ability to adapt and learn. Raised in Italy, he was fluent in Italian. But that wasn't enough for Kobe. He also learned Spanish, French, and even bits of Slovenian and Bosnian, all so he could trash talk opponents in their native languages. Imagine being on the court, thinking you've got the upper hand, and then Kobe hits you with an insult in your mother tongue? That's next-level dedication. Even after retiring from basketball in 2016, Kobe didn't slow down. He shifted his focus to storytelling, winning an Academy Award for his animated short film, Dear Basketball. It was clear that he still had so much to offer the world, but tragically, his life was cut short in January 2020 when his helicopter crashed, killing him, his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, and 7 others. The world was stunned. How could someone so full of life be gone just like that? Kobe Bryant's story is one of greatness, resilience, and complexity. He was a man who lived life on his own terms, constantly pushing himself to be better, not just on the court, but as a father, a husband, and a person. And while his time here was far too short, his legacy will forever be etched in history.